Weng.
Mr. Speaker, sir, the proposed measures in this bill are important steps towards a more sustainable Singapore. I have some clarifications on the proposed measures in the bill. First, Mr. Speaker, sir, it is important that the scheme to charge for disposable plastic bags have been carefully studied for implementation. To ensure the success of this policy, we should learn from the experiences of other countries that have implemented similar policies. What are some of the challenges that they have faced? What are the key lessons that we can learn from them? I've received feedback from residents who question the need to discourage the use of plastic bags at supermarkets. Many members have also spoken about this. They argue that these bags are often reused by households to bag rubbish. They have expressed concern that discouraging plastic bag use may result in food waste being thrown directly down rubbish chutes. This leads to other environmental issues, such as the breeding of pests. Are there plans in place to monitor this situation? Will there be increased enforcement of regulations targeting the failure to properly bag rubbish for disposal? The Ministry has assured that the public will continue to have access to disposable bags from other sources. This includes those available for bagging fresh produce from supermarkets. Hence, it should not hinder the practice of responsible waste disposal. Even so, this could lead residents to exploit such loopholes by taking extra bags. Some residents have also shared that since plastic is incinerated in Singapore, their remains take up less space in landfills than other types of waste. They felt that the resources spent on discouraging the use of plastic bags could be better spent on managing other types of waste instead. How has the Ministry factored in these perspectives in the implementation of the plastic bag charge? Moreover, while the plastic bag charge is a positive step, it should not be viewed as the ultimate solution. Consumers might start purchasing single-use plastic bags from online and overseas retailers, where they are usually more affordable in bulk. How will the Ministry tackle this problem and ensure that we are not simply redirecting residents to another source of plastic bags that cannot be recycled? This may cause our residents to pay more and not solve the problem. Will this not impact our less well-off residents? Another concern regarding the plastic bag charge is that retailers may use their voluntary participation in the scheme as an excuse to incorporate the costs into the prices of their products. In doing so, they continue to give out plastic bags without offering consumers a choice. This will make it difficult for consumers to know that they are paying for the bags, as the charge will be factored into the total bill. While this may be small and insignificant when compared to the overall cost of the sales, this may constitute profiteering, especially for those who may have brought their own bags. How will the Ministry ensure that retailers are transparent about a plastic bag charge and that consumers are fully informed about a retailer's plastic bag policy? It is critical to grant all consumers the freedom to make choices about plastic bag use to achieve the policy's objective. Otherwise, some businesses may take advantage of the situation. Ultimately, consumers will bear the losses. This brings me to my next point. Is the 5-cent charge per plastic bag enough to discourage consumption, or should we consider charging more? In fact, some retailers are already charging 10 cents per bag. I understand that supermarkets will be required to publish information on how the proceeds from the sale of plastic bags will be used for charitable or other environmental causes. Are there existing guidelines as to what constitutes proper use of the funds? Next, we should also consider expanding the plastic bag charge to cover all single-use disposable plastic items. My colleagues and I have raised concerns about the environmental impact of such items in Parliament before, and I've asked about the measures to reduce their use by enterprises. With meetings, gatherings, and events resuming in full force, disposable cutlery, plates, and cups are once again being used at these occasions. For individuals, many F&B retailers are already charging for takeaways with disposable containers and single-use cutlery. Therefore, a mandatory charge for disposable items would not be a new concept. I'm of the view that charging for single-use plastic bags is the right step forward, as we should discourage waste. Perhaps when we as a society better understand the detrimental impact of plastic pollution on our health and on the environment, we may consider a complete ban on single-use plastics, as monetary convenience may lead to prolonged harm on our health and on the environment. Second, Mr. Speaker, sir, I wish to raise some concerns regarding the beverage container return scheme. Will this scheme have an impact on Garangunis and waste collectors in the industries? Since metal cans and plastic bottles are still sought after, are there any potential disruption in the waste management industry that need to be addressed, especially for elderly waste collectors who rely on collecting recyclables to supplement their income? Could the ministry mandate the establishment of beverage container return points in the community and in public areas instead of leaving it as a voluntary initiative? It seems reasonable to assume that these return points will be more heavily used given that many consumers would purchase their beverages online or from heartland retailers, vending machines and supermarkets. If not, how does the ministry plan to monitor demand and increase the number of return points if existing ones prove to be insufficient? Additionally, how does the scheme take into consideration the needs of seniors and those with mobility limitations who may find it inconvenient to return beverage containers? These individuals would have to incur the extra cost of beverages, but may be unable to return the beverage containers for refund of their deposits. What measures are in place to engage the public and ensure a high level of awareness and participation rates, particularly during the initial stages of implementation? Will the campaign be promoted in schools and in community events? Will there be publicity materials in stores and public areas reminding and instructing consumers to utilize the return points? Third, Mr. Speaker, sir, I have some questions regarding the food waste management scheme. Is the ministry considering expanding the scheme to cover other types of buildings and premises besides industrial and commercial buildings? Locations which come to mind is the SAF cook houses. Other potential sites may include schools, hospitals and nursing homes. With on-site classes returning in full force, have there been any recent studies conducted on the amount of food waste generated in these premises? This may serve as an opportunity to raise awareness amongst NS recruits and students about the importance of not wasting food. It is important to start educating individuals from a young age. I know that under current provisions, new buildings must treat food waste on site. However, with approval from NEA, building managers of new buildings may seek alternative food waste treatment methods located off-site. Are these off-site facilities designated by NEA? What are the requirements and what is the proximity amongst them? If so, how does the ministry define whether an off-site facility is adequately close to the buildings to ensure efficient and safe transportation of food waste? In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, sir, these initiatives are a step in the right direction towards promoting responsible consumption and changing mindsets in the long term. Pursuing these initiatives is ultimately about balancing business costs and sustainability efforts. Nonetheless, this does not need to be a zero-sum game. More innovative solutions and technology must be explored to make going green less costly and reduce the associated overheads. Most importantly, we should endeavour not to have waste at all. We must embrace a culture that minimizes waste, or even better, no waste, and practices consumption in moderation. This cannot be the sole responsibility of the government. Rather, it must be a collective effort of every individual and every organization to make a significant impact on our environment. A New England proverb puts it most succinctly on how we can do so. I quote, "Use it up, wear it out, make it do or do without." By doing this, we achieve a greener and more sustainable Singapore for everyone. I support the bill. Thank you.